Earlier this week, our Prime Minister indicated that he has approached you during your bilateral talks for assistance related to a new rugby field, as well as assistance for the Samoan government on our digital authority. Can you elaborate what sort of assistance can the Samoan government expect?
Look, as is general practice with bilaterals, what I convey is generally high level, so as to preserve the conversations that we had within the room at the time. But I will certainly acknowledge that with the Prime Minister, we did discuss the issue of sports. And not just recent results, and I did of course congratulate him on the successful hosting of the Pacific Games, but we did talk more generally about issues around sports diplomacy, infrastructure and so on. I anticipate that will be an ongoing conversation between New Zealand and Samoa. No decisions taken at that time, but it was a topic of discussion.
So it wasn't really particular on the rugby field, but sports in general?
What I'm telling you is that I'm not going to give you a level of detail about every single element of our conversation, but that I expect there will be an ongoing conversation between New Zealand and Samoa around the ways that we can collaborate with a focus on sports. Sorry, go ahead.
For Samoa Global News, coming back to Samoa, the trade deficit, as you're aware, what are some practical applications of PESA Plus that you've been able to speak to on bilaterals that we see in the foreseeable future we can apply?
Well, to be honest, most of our New Zealand's focus has been on trying to see through ratification across some of the other signatories, because of course, unfortunately, that's been somewhat limited to date. Acknowledge those who have ratified. So that's something that's where our focus has been, is just simply seeing it reinforced by each of those who have negotiated PESA Plus.
In terms of it's trade and services and inputs,
Yep.
do you see labour mobility being something? There's always that notion out there that even though we're all educated in New Zealand, that technical assistance still has to come in from New Zealand once a New Zealand project. We have to find the same thing happening in Australia. What are your views on that? Will that eventually plateau out? There's a constant struggle, even though we are educated.
Yeah. And look, this is a conversation that even New Zealand has through oftentimes that debate over whether or not we've trained up New Zealand talent only to export it to Europe or to Australia. And particularly acute some of the conversations I've had with those in leadership in Samoa. Of course, on the one hand, the deep desire for young people to be able to access the education and the opportunities that come with that, but also wanting to see that contribution then being made within Samoa. That's an ongoing conversation. But of course, we would love to see those who travel to New Zealand either on scholarship or of their own volition, then having that opportunity to come back and to communities and to village and bring their new skills with them. One of the dynamics of the RSE scheme, of course, is the fact that people are coming home, and I think that's an important part of it.
On Pacific Games, New Zealand and Australia participating in our Pacific Games last night. What is your view with that? Eventually, there's a bit of a debate around now. We've taken a few medals away from the Pacific Islanders as well, New Zealand, Australia here. What is your personal view on continuation of New Zealand, Australia, particularly New Zealand in the Pacific Games?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say that we poach players as well. So it's not just about participation in the games. Ultimately, that's up to those who are the administrators of the games to make that determination, and we obviously abide by those decisions. But I'd say you'd probably have a worthy complaint against us around the athletes that that I hope you're still proud of, that we steal from time to time as well.
When did you finish, guys? I'm sorry.
I can. Sorry. What is the time? Are we about to be boarding, are we? Sorry. Look, let's just take one more. I don't think we got one from you, so let's...
I'm taking one from Samoa and Stadia. We have 17,000 Samoans who applied for the program scheme this year.
Yeah.
And Samoans continue to see New Zealand as the land of milk and honey. But what is the reality in New Zealand, especially with the housing crisis in New Zealand right now?
Look, they're just like any other country and government that faces infrastructure challenges. We're having our own, and that is particularly around housing. We have tried to encourage those who have skills or the opportunity to come and settle in New Zealand to really look to those areas where there's less pressure on our infrastructure and particularly housing. And that's one of the reasons, separate to the quota system, but within our immigration system, we're looking at regional shortages to try and encourage people to look to those areas where we do need additional labour, but also where it will be cheaper and easier for them to find accommodation. But I think those who are coming into New Zealand, they know those challenges. They'll often have family who will make them aware of those challenges, and of course who do act as a form of support when it comes to accommodation. But we'll just continue to encourage people. There are jobs outside of Auckland. There are opportunities outside of Auckland. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Oh, I actually don't have one scheduled so far. So
It's nice to see you next time. No, not just on the way to talk it up.
understood. You remember I had a good stop.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.